bill now. You're running up my phone bill, as my mama would say. You're running up my phone bill. All right?
We're talking shop.
No, I understand.
Jeremy
We'll get back to Jeremy Green
shop.
in just a second. But you know what? The Dallas Cowboys getting Tony Romo back. Giants could be in. They always start off good. First half of the season under Tom Coughlin. Second half is the issue. In the second half of their schedule, all winning teams with the exception of one, the Minnesota Vikings, and they're at 500 right now, so we shall see. Meanwhile, talking about the Tennessee Titans being the best team in football, the reason they're the best team in football, according to Q, is because they've got a perfect record.
They have no blemish.
And they kept it perfect today against the Green Bay Packers. And one of the big weapons, well, one of the big reasons that they've been perfect this season, of course, Kerry Collins has been steady. Hasn't made critical errors, found Brandon Jones right there. This game is tied at 16 late in the game. Rob Peronis
for the win!
He clutch, but not right there off the upright. Jeff Fisher thought it was in. So we're going to overtime. In the overtime,
Rob Peronis for the win!
41-yard field goal, and yes, sir. It's good. It's good. The Titans are good, too.
Yes, they are.
And as Q said, the best team in the National Football League.
2008 football season.
You know who else is good?
Yes.
Chris Johnson, man. 89 yards on the ground. He also had 70 more through the air. And after the game, who's the reporter that was out there? Bob Holtzman. Yeah, Bob Holtzman caught up with the big defensive tackle for the Tennessee Titans, Albert Hainsworth.
Well, Albert, every week people continue to doubt you guys. You beat the Colts on Monday. You beat the Packers today. How much do you enjoy the fact that people aren't necessarily buying into this team yet?
That's fine. Don't buy into us. You know, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. We put in a great, work this week and just stayed focused and really didn't let the short week bother us.
Packers moved the ball. Aaron Rodgers had over 300 yards passing. It wasn't a perfect game defensively, but you made it work. How did it happen? We bent, but we didn't break. You know, we get down to the red zone, but we're holding the field goals, and that was key. I mean, he's a great quarterback, deserves everything he got. He moved the ball around on us a lot, but we couldn't get a lot of pressure. I mean, we got some few sacks, but I was disappointed I didn't get to hit him at all. I didn't get him not once. So maybe next week I can get whoever the quarterback is there. The record's perfect at 8-0 now, but this team appeared today at least to be far from perfect. What do you still need to work on?
Well, just consistency. We need to. We always lack on something on game day. You know, we'll play good in all three phases, but then it'll be something like the pass. Like this week, you know, we let them score a lot. I mean, or get a lot of yards, but we didn't let them score touchdowns. So we just got to get after the quarterback. We just can't be, I guess, frustrated, and we're gonna have more guys up.
Looking back a couple months, did you honestly think you could be in this position 8-0?
I mean, I expect to win every game, but if I had to bet on it, I'd say no.
Albert, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Back to you.
Thanks a lot. Titans are 8-0 on the season, but they've won 11 straight dating back to last season. In the regular season, that is a time of franchise record. Eric wants to know, in light of the Titans against the Packers game today, do you think that it would be more equitable to manage NFL overtimes the same way as NCAA overtimes? What he's saying there is the Titans got the ball first and they didn't give it back to the Green Bay Packers, so the Packers weren't allowed to, they didn't have an opportunity to go down and score themselves.
We get this question every time there's an overtime game, and I say the same thing, no. I like the fact that it's sudden death. I like the fact that when you get the football, you have an opportunity to score. So therefore, go out there and stop us to get the football back if you're the other team. I'm not into the whole let's keep on playing. Why? Because there's only 47 guys out there on the field, and as the game gets going, especially into overtime, there's a thing called fatigue. And yes, in the NFL, there are 16 games. It's not like college where you got a whole bunch of guys on your roster on scholarship.
Hey, Q, those defensive guys get paid too, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Stop and get the ball back. You know, I agree with you. I like the overtime the way it is. The one thing I'd say about this game, it was going to come down to maybe who got it first, because Green Bay was tired defensively, I think, because Tennessee went on a long drive, a long march, had the ball inside the 10, got the field goal to push this game into overtime. And I just had a feeling if their defense had to go back on the field after being in a hurry-up mode defensively, that they were going to be in trouble. And I think that played a big factor in that Tennessee Titans last drive.
Yeah, outstanding analysis by you. I agree. Anytime you can get no, but anytime you can get a sustained drive, you know, you're absolutely right. The defense is going to be tired. And so if you did, for the particular case of the email question, if you did have a college-ruled overtime where you're going to get the ball back and you're going to be going back and forth, my goodness, I mean, that's where you would see the injuries starting to mount up. It's a credit to the Titans that they were able to focus in. And, again, Kerry Collins, the 35,000-yard quarterback, definitely did an outstanding job of making plays when he needed to.
I got a strange feeling that Eric was a Packers fan. He just wanted to see his boys have an opportunity to go back down and
Wisconsin.
score. So, Eric, thank you for the email. Continue to send those emails in ESPN.com. Search
The Blitz.
Thank you, Q. All right, meanwhile, the Titans are still unbeaten. Meanwhile, the Bengals trying to win their first of the season, taking on the Jaguars today. And Chad Ochocinco, who's ready. Chad, he scored twice in this game.
What? Stop the presses.
Against Marvin Lewis after the second one.
I love you, man.
Cedric Benson, you know he's with the Cincinnati Bengals now, right?
Did
you know that he rushed for over 100 yards on the ground?
104 to be exact.
104 against that Jaguars defense. John Henderson got kicked out of the game for fighting. He's a big defensive tackle.
Big dummy.
I mean, but you know what? They miss him. And the Jaguars running can't get it going at all. But the Bengals get their first win of the season. They're now 1-8. Hip, hip, hooray! Marvin Lewis, holla at us.
We've been getting our head, kicked in a little bit, publicly. So I think these guys will feel good, get some time out of here later in the week and be able to get refreshed and so forth, because they've worked extremely hard and they've not backed up on working, on how to work and what to do and how to do it. Hopefully this will be a kind of a stepping stone to understand that you just keep hammering and finally later that rock cracks.
Well, certainly when you look at the head coach right there, he looks like a beaten man. He even said, we've been getting our heads beat in publicly. And how big of a win is this, for the Bengals, just to get that monkey off their back?
I think it's a huge win for Marvin Lewis, a huge win for this football team, especially in light of the fact that I thought they laid down a little bit in Houston last week. But to be able to come in and stop their running game and be able to run the football, and we saw it, I think, with a few teams today. We saw it with the Kansas City Chiefs, who lost late. When they can run the football, bad football teams, and take care of the ball and let their quarterback manage the game like Ryan Fitzpatrick did, you give yourself a chance. And that's why Cincinnati, they had been playing pretty good football, but that's why they were able to finish today, running the football, stopping the run. That's something that Cincinnati has not been able to do this season.
And on the other side of things, Jacksonville, I mean, you're talking about a team at the beginning of the year, a lot of people were putting in the upper echelon of the AFC, and now 3-5 at the midway point.
You know what, and when you look at Jacksonville offensively, this team always under Jack Del Rio. We run the football, we use our passing game to support that, but they've had to become a completely different football team with all the injuries up front. They're now a pass-first, run-second football team, and when you've been like that for a number of years under a head coach, you just don't get that fixed in the middle of the regular season.
All right, we do have an email question coming in, and the question is this from Mike. Were the Eagles that good on Sunday, or were the Jags just that bad? Jeremy.
The Jags were that bad because, again, they were not able to run the football. Too much pressure on David Garrard. And Cincinnati played a good football. Remember, this team almost beat the Giants. They've played good football in spurts. They were in it for three and a half quarters against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Cincinnati was good today. Jacksonville was poor.
All right, well, that's Jeremy Green's got plenty more to come in the next couple of hours. Right now, we got to pay some bills when we come back on the Blitz. Those of you staying with us, Texans and Vikings, because Houston went
At the